Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel with the Affirmation. Here every story has a purpose and every lesson is meant to help you grow in a life. So let's dive into a new story that will teach you should not compare yourself with others. You should be happy with whatever God has given you. So let's start this story. Once in a quiet forest, there lived a crow who was very unhappy with his life. He often sat on the branches of tall trees, looking down at other birds, feeling sad and hopeless. One day, he could not hold his feeling in any longer. He sat on a tree branch and began to cry. His small black eyes filled with tears. As he cried, a tear fell from his eye and landed on the shoulder of a Zen master who was meditating under the tree. The Zen master looked up, surprised to feel the tear, and saw the crow sobbing on the branch above him. The Zen master asked the crow, "Why are you crying, dear crow? What is troubling you?" The crow, still weeping, looked down and replied, "Oh Zen master, I am so unhappy with my life. My feathers are black, and because of this, people hate me. They think I bring bad luck, and no one ever look at me with kindness. People shoo me away and call me ugly. I feel like the most unfortunate bird in the world." The Zen master listened patiently and said, "My dear crow, I understand your pain, but do not worry. I have the power to change your life. I can turn you into a more beautiful bird if that is what you truly wish." The crow's tears stopped immediately, and his sadness turned into excitement and said, "Really? You could make me beautiful like a swan? Oh, how I would love that." Everyone admires swan for their beauty. The Zen master smiled gently and replied, "Yes, I can turn you into a swan. But before I do, I want you to visit a swan and ask it is truly happy with its life. Only then will I grant your wish." Curious and hopeful, the crow agreed and flew up to find a swan. After some time, he spotted a beautiful white swan gliding gracefully on the surface of a pond. The crow approached the swan cautiously and said, "Excuse me, swan, may I ask you something?" The swan, with its long neck and pure white feathers, looked at the crow and nodded and replied kindly, "Of course, you may ask." The crow hesitated for a moment, then said, "You are so beautiful, with your white feathers and graceful appearance. I imagine that you must be the happiest bird in the world. Everyone love and admire you, don't they?" The swan let out a soft sigh and replied, "Oh dear crow, I understand why you think that. Yes, people do admire my appearance, but that does not make me happy. In fact, I find my white feathers quite plain. People wear white at funeral and sad occasion, and sometimes I feel like my color represents sadness. I often wish I had vibrant, colorful feathers like the parrot. I believe the parrot must be the happiest bird with all the beautiful color nature has given it." The crow was surprised by Swan's word. He had never thought that a bird as admired as a swan could be unhappy. "Thank you for sharing that with me," the crow said and flew off in search of a parrot. After flying through the forest, the crow eventually found a parrot sitting high in a tree. The parrot's feathers were dazzling mix of red, green, and blue, and the crow was in awe of bird's beauty. He called out parrot and said, "Hello parrot, you must be the happiest bird in the world. You are so colorful and your feathers are a wonder of nature." The parrot looked down at the crow and smiled, but there was a hint of sadness in its eyes and said, "No, my friend, I am not the happiest bird in the world. My feathers are beautiful, but they attract too much attention. People try to capture me and put me in the cages because of my color. I am often taken away from my natural home, and my freedom is stolen from me. I may be colorful, but I don't have the freedom that you do. I think the peacock, with its even more majestic feathers, must be the happiest bird in the world. The crow was surprised once again. He had always thought that beauty brought happiness, but now he was learning that beauty could also be a burden. Determined to understand more, the crow flew up to find a peacock. After a long journey, the crow finally reached a large garden where he saw a peacock spreading its magnificent tail feathers in front of a crowd of people. The peacock's feathers shimmered in the sunlight, displaying a range of vibrant color: blue, green and gold. People gathered around, admiring the peacock's beauty, taking pictures and clapping in awe. The crow flew closer and said, "You must be the happiest bird in the world. Look at how everyone admires you. Your feathers are the most beautiful in the entire world." The peacock turned to the crow with sad expression and said, "Yes, my feathers are beautiful and people admire them. But because of this beauty, my life is not easy. People hunt me for my feathers, which they use to decorate their home. Worse still, I spend most of my life trapped in this zoo, unable to fly freely like you. My beauty has become my prison. I long for the freedom that you, as a crow, enjoy. You can fly wherever you want, without fear of being captured or locked in a cage." The crow was shocked by Peacock's word. He had never thought that the most beautiful bird in the world could be so unhappy. "You mean you would rather be a crow like me?" the crow asked in disbelief. The peacock nodded. "Yes, I would trade my all beauty for freedom like yours. You are the happiest bird in the world because you can live your life without fear. You can fly freely and live in the open skies. I wish I could be like you." The crow could not believe what he was hearing. All this time, he had been wishing to be someone else, to be more beautiful, more admired. But now he realized that he was already living a life that others envied. He had freedom, something that no amount of beauty could replace. The crow flew back to the Zen master, his heart filled with gratitude and a new understanding of life. When he reached the Zen master, he said, "Oh Zen master, I now understand the lesson you wanted me to learn. I no longer wish to be anyone else. I don't want to be a swan, a parrot or a peacock. I realize now that I am happiest being myself. I have freedom to fly wherever I want, and that is more valuable than anything else." The Zen master smiled warmly and said, "You have learned an important lesson, my friend. Happiness is not about how you look or what others think of you. It comes from appreciating what you already have. Comparing yourself to others will only makes you miserable. Each one of us has our own strength and blessing. You, as a crow, have something that the swan, the parrot, and the peacock all wish they had: freedom. And that is a gift you should cherish." The crow thanked the Zen master and flew away, no longer feeling envious of other birds. From that day on, he lived his life happily, appreciating his freedom and simple joy of being himself. This story teaches that comparing ourselves to others only leads to unhappiness. We often focus on what we don't have and fail to see the unique gift we possess. Just like the crow, we all have our own strength, and the key to happiness is to appreciate what we have instead of wishing to be someone else. True happiness comes from self-acceptance and understanding that everyone has their own struggle, no matter how perfect they may seem from the outside. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy this video, hit like button, and for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.